Arthur, why is nobody buying anything? You think maybe I priced them too high?
Hey, if you don't value your own work, nobody else will. I could charge 85 cents for those donuts, but I put my heart and soul into it, so now I can charge 89. Come on, get some confidence.
Right. Yeah, man. Okay. My bad. It's like no matter what I do, man, I keep hearing my dad's voice in my head.
Franco, I see you still dressing like a kung fu villain.
Yeah, that's how it sounds. Hey, Pop.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like my pop. Right. That is a clip from tonight's episode of the CBS sitcom Superior Donut, starring Jermaine Fowler. He plays Franco Wicks, who is an executive producer on the show as well. And Jermaine joins us right now.
What's up?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So listen, people might not have known you prior to this show. So give us a sense of what your journey has been to get to this TV.
Oh man,
the short version.
I'll try. I'll do the short version. I can try that. No, I'm from Maryland, Hyattsville, Maryland. I was born in D.C. I started stand-up comedy when I was in 12th grade, 2006, 7, and from there I was just doing open mics around the city, and then from there, it was terrible. It was like one of the worst things I've ever done. Hold on, it fell out of my ear.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
I look like a singer.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
I feel like I was singing and it fell out of my ear. It was tough, but like I didn't want to do anything else in my life. Seriously, I've always wanted to do stand-up, make people laugh. And then I moved to New York in 2008. And took a Chinatown bus up there, a mega bus, and I remember I was just couch surfing on people's couches, all my friends' couches.
Wow.
Some Craigslist weirdos, I remember they would like take me in, and then
did they work their way into your stand-up comedy routine?
They had to.
That's just natural evolution.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta work a Craigslist weirdo in your stand-up routine somehow, and they did. And from there, I was just doing a lot of showcases, and I made a name for myself around the club circuit, around Manhattan, and some of the bar shows in Brooklyn, and I moved to LA in 2014, I think, to work on this ABC pilot, and that didn't work out, but I learned so much from it, and I EP'd that, wrote that, created that, and from there it led to this new show, Superior Donuts.
Yeah, which is doing great.
Thank you. It is. It's doing pretty good.
For a second season.
Oh yeah.
And you're breaking barriers, man. You're the first, African American sitcom lead on a CBS program in quite a long time.
You're damn right.
Yeah, right. How does that feel?
That feels good. I feel like I grew up watching shows like Martin and Fresh Prince.
Yep.
And I love those shows, and it just feels good that I could sort of, follow in their footsteps. I look up to those two dudes, and I'm just very happy that CBS gave me the shot, and the show was great. They gave the show a shot. I think the cast is amazing, and I feel like I hope I can open doors for more actors and actresses in the same position, writers, producers who want to do their own shows, just like Martin and Will Smith did for me.
But you're an EP, so you can, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things that I think. So not only in being a performer, but also being somebody who's responsible for making decisions on a show. How important is it for you to look at a young talent out there and try to bring them into the fold as best as you can?
It's important. I'm always having my ear to the ground, trying to figure out who's good at who's a good writer, who's a great actor, who's a great actress, who's killing it right now. And you kind of gotta have your ear to the ground, because you don't really grow as a show or as a product. You gotta figure out who's hot, who has a unique voice, and who's gonna make the show fresh. And CBS obviously had their ear to the ground when they heard of me, and as humble as I am, I feel like they did a good job, because I love the show. And I feel like the character Franco reflects who I am as a person. It really spoke to me, the character and the show. And I feel like I just feel like today's world could use a show like this with everything going on.
So let's talk about the characters and why you think this show works, because a lot of sitcoms, live and die very quickly. This is getting renewed. I know what I like about it, but what do you like about it?
I like the show because it has a voice. It has an actual voice. It's talking about something. As much as I love shows that are, joke driven, I love story. I love stories. I love messages, and I feel like this day and age, people could hear that, and they want to hear it. So many shows like the Carmichael Show, What's the one on Netflix that Norman Lear is doing?
Don't quiz us. Wait, we ask the questions here, buddy. But you know what the thing about this show is that I feel like it talks to multiple generations.
Right.
And not only is it quick, I mean, literally every minute there's another joke. Someone's cracking a joke,
it's
right?
Fast-paced.
It's really fast.
It's fast-paced.
But it is, if you know nothing about the micro gig economy, it's okay because there's another character who speaks for you, or nothing about vegan donuts. It's okay because they don't sell vegan donuts.
Our cast is pretty broad. It's pretty vast, and I feel like every character speaks to a different type of fan, a different type of viewer. And if you don't like this guy, you're gonna love that guy. If you don't agree with that guy, you're gonna agree with this guy. You know what I mean? It's just, I think everyone has a specific point of view. I think everyone can get on board with.
This is one of the things that I like about the show is it deals with sort of issues that are timely, especially in the world that we're living in right now: gun control, police brutality. How has the current political climate shaped the show? Because you pointed out Martin and Fresh Prince, but I'm old enough to remember an old CBS show, Good Times, which dealt with, right? You know?
You don't have to be that old. I think you still watch it.
Good Times was like the show that I grew up watching on CBS, and you know, gang violence and poverty and living in the hood. And how does that influence what you're doing on Superior Donuts?
Dude, those shows have opened doors for my show. I always felt like I remember watching that, you know, Good Times growing up. I had good parents, so they had me watch that show also.
Did they?
Yeah. And that show spoke to me because I grew up pretty poor. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up very, you know, I didn't live too, you know, I didn't have the best house, you know what I mean? I didn't, you know, I kind of related to JJ.
Who didn't? I wanted one of those hats. I wanted that Kango hat. My mother was like, no.
JJ was pretty fresh, man. JJ was fresh as hell, man. I like JJ.
And Michael Evans?
Yeah, man. It was, I mean, hey, the show was groundbreaking, you know, and shows like that, they've opened doors for shows like this, you know. People like relating to people they can, you know, that are going through the same things they're going through, you know. That's why I wanted to do this show. I remember being 18, 19, looking for jobs around Maryland. My first job I had was at a dry cleaners, and all I had was a resume. I only had like one job on it, and it was from it was a volunteer job at school or something like that. I didn't get paid for it, but they saw me and they were like, "You want to work at the register?" And I was like, "I would love to." And they gave me a shot, and they fired me, but you know,
oh no,
they gave me a shot. That was the point, you know what I mean? And I remember
you should leave that other part of the story out if the point is they gave you a shot.
I'm not good at retail or anything. I'm only good at acting. I can act like I can work well. That's why I'm good at this show, you know. But that's why I relate to the character so well, because I remember being broke but having all these ideas to make either my job better or, you know, aspirations to do stand-up comedy while I was at the job. I used to write jokes down on receipt paper.
Wow.
And just I wasn't the best I wasn't the best employee, but I remember I always try to make the customers happy as hell.
Well, we are so happy to have you here, and thank you so much for all that you do, and congratulations on the success of the show.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
Jermaine Fowler, thank you, man.